Hey y'all, I'm Dawn and welcome to Designs by Gaddis. If you love farmhouse decor on a budget, be sure to subscribe. Today I have some more high-end farmhouse decor DIYs. Now for the first DIY. For this Kirkland's Inspired Christmas Dupe, I painted an 18 by 24 inch canvas with black acrylic paint. I also made sure I painted all four sides of the canvas. I centered a large Christmas stencil onto the black canvas using a tape measure. I attached the stencil to the canvas by rubbing it down and tried to get most of the air bubbles out. I have found out that it's tricky when stenciling on canvas because the canvas has a lot of give, so your lines may be a little wonky and you will have to do a little cleanup. I applied white chalk paste to the stencil with a couple of squeegees. I tried to leave the chalk paste thick because I'm going to use some other colors also. Next, I used a tan chalk paste for the stems. And green and white for the leaves and berries at the bottom. I removed the excess paste from the stencil. And when I removed the stencil from the canvas, this is what I had. As you can see, I had some bleed through and some of the paste had dried in a few spots and pulled up when I removed the stencil. Using a small paintbrush and the same black acrylic paint I had used on the canvas, I touched up areas where the paste had bled through. I really like the way it looks distressed where the paste had lifted up, so I left that like it was. This is the Kirkland's inspiration for this DIY, and for $60 it's well out of my budget for Christmas decor. I now have this beautiful painting to add to my Christmas decor this holiday season. Let me know in the comments if you would have touched it up more, or do you like the distressed look? I used a 5x7 picture frame for my stash for this adorable Christmas sign. I traced around the mat from inside of the frame and cut out some scrapbook paper. I cut some vinyl and a piece of cardstock using my Cricut. I weeded the vinyl and applied it to transfer tape. I placed the saying in the center of the cardstock and applied the vinyl. I used a Dollar Tree glue stick and attached the cardstock in the center of the scrapbook paper. And then placed everything back inside of the picture frame. This is the Kirkland's inspiration image. The Kirkland's piece is larger than the one I made, but with a price tag of $105, a larger one could be done for a lot less. I made mine to suit my decor, and I think it turned out so stinking cute. Let me know what you think in the comments. For this Kirkland's Inspired DIY, I used plastic bowls and candlesticks from Dollar Tree. I took the bowls outside and painted them with Rust-Oleum apple red spray paint. I took the short candlestick and broke the end off by moving it back and forth until it broke. I wanted to use it on the bottom of the bowls. I used some leather ribbon from my stash and hot glued it around the bowl. The hardest part was trying to get the leather straight so it wasn't wonky looking. I turned the largest bowl over and used Gorilla Clear Grip glue and hot glue to attach the bottom portion of the candlestick to the plastic bowl. I glued down a candlestick in the center of the largest bowl with the Gorilla Glue. I placed the candlestick in the center of the bowl and then went around the bottom of the candlestick with hot glue. I applied the Gorilla Glue to the top of the candlestick and then attached one of the smaller bowls to the top. I used my Cricut and created belt buckles for the bowls and then cut them out on gold vinyl. Instead of using transfer tape, I simply used my weeding tool to remove the vinyl from the backing and attach the vinyl to the bowls over the leather ribbon. And that's when the top bowl came off. I didn't let it dry long enough before handling it. Since the Gorilla Glue was still wet, I just went around the top again with hot glue to hold it until the Gorilla Glue had time to set up. And this is the Kirkland Inspiration. I thought it was so cute and wanted an inexpensive way to create one for myself. I think the transformation of these Dollar Tree plastic bowls turned out amazing. Let me know what you think in the comments. I picked up this cute little truck from Dollar Tree for $5, and the rest of the supplies I used were from my stash. I wanted to add a farm-style bed to the back of the truck. To do this, I used 6 tumbling tower blocks and some craft sticks. And believe it or not, the craft sticks were a perfect fit. The truck bed has a little bit of a lean to it, so I placed the blocks in the bed and marked them with a pencil. I glued the craft stick to the first block and placed it in the back of the truck to make sure it was lining up the way I wanted. I placed the block at the other end of the truck and marked it with a pencil. And glued it to the craft stick. And then did the same thing with the middle block. I then glued another craft stick to the top of my blocks. I placed the rails in the back of the truck to make sure everything was still lining up. I did the same thing for the rails on the other side. I used antiquing wax and stained the rails. I stained both sides and the top of the blocks. Since hot glue isn't the best on metal, I used super glue for the bond and a little hot glue to hold it in place until the super glue set up. I found some of these small craft sticks and decided to use them on the back, and they fit perfectly also. I hot glued them to the blocks at the back of the truck. And stained them to match the rest. And will you look at how stinking cute. I cut some vinyl and attached it to a mini chalkboard sign from my stash. I placed the sign on the rails and then placed a Christmas tree in the back. This is my new favorite, and the best part is it's interchangeable. Just make up a new sign and place something seasonal in the back. This is the Kirkland's inspirational piece, but I think I like mine more. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. For this project, I used the same candle I used in one of my first DIY videos ever. I still use it for pictures, so instead of removing the vinyl, I decided to use the back side for this DIY. I cleaned the back with rubbing alcohol to remove any dust and oils from the jar. I used my Cricut and cut out the vinyl, weeded it, and applied it to transfer tape. I used a couple of wooden letters I had sitting on my work table to hold the candle in place so it wouldn't roll over. I placed the vinyl on the jar and centered it before removing the transfer tape. This is the inspiration image from Kirkland's for $30. Mine didn't cost me hardly anything. Perfect to sit on a shelf this Christmas. Let me know what you think in the comments. Please take a second to like this video and leave me a comment. This really helps my channel to grow so others just like yourself can find me. If you just found me, I hope you will join our little family by hitting the subscribe button. If you are already part of the family, thank you so much for your love and support. Y'all are the absolute best. Check out my new Amazon store for craft supply and farmhouse home decor recommendations. All the products I use from Amazon in my videos can be found there. Until next time, happy crafting!